Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void and an Into the Void for your Friday. This is going to be a silver level replay sent to me at falconpaladin@gmail.com with the subject of Into the Void. And it's going to be Stryder versus Fabiana here on Cerulean Fall the Ladder Edition. Top right-hand corner is the red Zerg player, Fabiana. And in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the blue Protoss player, Stryder. Let's go ahead and switch these up. It's going to be ZVP, my favorite matchup in all of StarCraft 2, of an extractor pool here from Fabiana. Planning on a little bit of aggression, or maybe he just isn't planning on aggression and doesn't know that Hatch First is very safe against Protoss. As long as you scout, as long as you drone scout or send an overlord to this position, just to make sure you're not getting cannon rushed, and you're going to be okay. You're going to be just fine. And this is not a forge, this is a gateway. Stryder has a little bit better understanding of build orders versus Zerg. Maybe one gate expand, maybe cybernetic score before the expansion. Stryder, you have resources. Good, there you go. Good man making that happen. Pool's done here for Fabiana and still not expanding. This is going to be Into the Void. This is where things get a little bit weird. If you'd like to get your game cast by Falcon Paladin on the channel for the Into the Void feature, go ahead and send it to me at falconpaladin@gmail.com with the subject of Into the Void. Make sure that it is a bronze, a silver, or a gold level replay that is interesting in some way. You need some coaching on, possibly. It's just, it can't be a really standard, incredible game that just is indistinguishable from like a platinum level one, because that's not going to make the cut, is what I'm trying to say. So yeah, I mean, this is a problem for Fabiana. He's expanding here, but late. It's about 20 supply. He got the pool, he got speed on the way. He has exactly 2 Zerglings, which is not enough to put pressure on anything. And look at this, Stryder taking it in stride. It's walling off here. He's got a Zealot, he's got a shield battery, he's got another gateway here. Lings are not getting up this at all. The Zealot, I think, is trapped outside, but can this probe get in? I think the probe is, this is a hard wall. Now that is a problem. You don't want a hard wall, because that means to get your army out of here, you're going to have to knock something down. You're going to have to destroy one of your own buildings, which it doesn't feel good when you're forced to do that. But this probe's like, I guess I'm going scouting again. Bye, everyone. I'll let you know what the Zerg player's doing, and I'll probably die in the process. Oh, wait, hold on. Hold on. Stryder knows what he's doing. That's not a hard wall at all. That Zealot is holding the wall. He's got a shield battery, too. That's nice. Why was the Zealot was blocking off the probe without being in this chunk in the wall? How weird. Anyway, oh my gosh, a lair from Fabiana and double gas from Fabiana. What are you teching to, Fabiana? This might be the second Into the Void game where the Zerg player is just a what? Right? A what is going on? Protoss is absolutely kicking trash right now, which is a phrase most commonly I've ever heard in Utah by my friends who are not interested in actually swearing. Kicking trash was one of those things we used to say when you were teenagers and our parents were around, and you can't say the real phrase or else you get in trouble. Anyway, yeah, I mean, it's 26 to 23 workers. Stryder's winning that game. It's 2 bases to 2 bases. Stryder's winning that game. What are you doing with the lair, man? Stryder, you better be prepared for this, and Fabiana, you better know what you're doing with this lair. I want to see a Hydralisk Den. I want to see a Spire. I want to see something that requires a lair now. Let's go. I like the queen injects. They've been pretty good so far. 2 queens up here. And I say that, and then he just refuses to inject for the entire rest of the game. It would seem... Oh, no, hang on. I moved away, and the inject did happen. Inject did happen over there. 3rd and 4th gas on the way from Fabiana. So he's getting a ton of gas, and he is going for a Spire. Okay, so Fabiana has a general concept of what he's trying to do here. Blah. Double Spire. Why? Why double Spire, Fabiana? What will this possibly do for you? Oh, I am befuddled. I'm befuddled by this. Not as much as I was by the Zerg 2 weeks ago, who I think literally made every structure that Zerg can make inside his main base off of, I think, 1 or 2 bases, and it was weird. It was a weird game for sure. One of the better Into the Voids I've ever cast in that sense. So, Adept, so Stryder knows what he's doing. Stryder's like, hey, I'm gonna go Twilight Council. I'm going to go ahead and maybe get Resonating Glaives. Not getting Resonating Glaives, but I am getting a whole ton of Adepts, which is great. Big old Adept pressure against Zerg can be really hard to handle unless they have Roaches to deal with it. Lings generally aren't going to be enough, especially with this many Adepts. Again, going for Resonating Glaives, especially since you already have a Twilight Council, is good, but I'm going for Storm. A really immediate Storm here from Stryder. He's rushing it. Temple Archives is done. Additional Warp Gates on the way. Fabiana is going to be able to do a lot of work here with these Adepts because there is nothing to stop this. Holy smokes, there are 6 Adepts versus 4 Zerglings and 3 Queens. Alright, so these Lings die. Easy enough. I just can't help but imagine how much better these guys would be if they had Resonating Glaives. That said, they're going to take down this Queen pretty easily. These Lings are going to die. Anything more in production? Absolutely not. And these drones are all going to be dead here too. This game is not looking good for Fabiana whatsoever. Another Queen does pop out. The Adepts are not all attacking. You need to make sure the Adepts are all attacking your target. And try target firing one of the Queens down. There we go. Or just running, I guess. Oh, actually, pulling back in. Getting a Queen. Transfuses are good, Fabiana. These guys have enough energy for a transfuse. You didn't use it. And as a result, the Adepts are doing way better than they should be able to against these Queens. Oh, it stopped firing on the one. No, didn't stop. Didn't stop. One of the Adepts has died, but so many Queens have died here. Resources locked 850 to 300 in favor of the Protoss player. And look at this Queen. She's fighting. 8 Lings are on the way from Fabiana. Does he have speed? He's got speed, but look at this drone massacre. It is a bit of a drone massacre. Not terrible. I mean, 9 drones killed, and now I think this might be enough. Oh my gosh, I'm not sure it's enough. There are still 2 Adepts. Go after the drones. Don't worry about that extractor. Kill the drones. Why are you focusing down the extractor? Don't do it. You there with 6 kills. You there with 7 kills. Drone kills are great. Excellent, in fact. Oh my gosh, this is horrible news. It is 26 workers for Fabiana right now to 33 for Stryder. Finally, that's enough Speedlings to take these Adepts down. But good golly, 10 kill Adept. 10 kill Adept is something you're really only ever going to see in an Into the Void game, I think. Generally. So mutas are out now, and the problem for Stryder is, what's your anti-air? The answer is 0 things. We have an Archon and 2 High Templar, and that is literally it. Third base on the way from Stryder behind this. Did expand behind it, which is nice, and Zealots are pushing in to deal with these Lings, but the Zealots, they have any upgrades? Is the question. No upgrades for these guys. Working on +1 attack, which is great. Trying to see, is there a third base? No. So Stryder, again, looking fantastic here, but oh, if you can, I don't even know if you can storm enough. This Archon, the Archon needs to finish, and I don't think it's going to. That's too many Mutalisks, and bam, almost finished, but not quite. Zealots just need to go in here and kill stuff. They can't hang out. They need to get in here and kill stuff, like kill that Queen before you all die, because you're all going to die. Can you get her is the question. Yes, another Queen is going to die. That's a lot of dead Queens. Stalker's coming over to fight. The Zealots need to go after these drones. Or maybe these drones will be good. Or maybe a Queen. They're really injured, though. Maybe killing a Queen is beyond them at this point, and they're all dead anyway. So, excellent, excellent work there by Fabiana, cleaning things up with his Mutalisks, but they need to be out on the attack. They need to start killing stuff. For example, there is literally nothing protecting the natural base mineral line and the main base mineral line. Literally nothing here, too, although there are cannons and shield batteries on the way, which is a beautiful response from Stryder. The Mutas would rather kill this pylon that is blocking the third base. Not that I really don't know that Fabiana is intending to expand anytime soon, but he should be. At the 8-minute mark, he should probably have a third. Now, Spire, double Spire is here. How many upgrades do we have, ladies and gentlemen? 0. I thought maybe he'd go for a quick, like, 1-1 Muta thing, which is not really a thing. It would make sense if you're going for double Spire, or maybe you're going for a greater Spire real fast, and that'd be nice too, but yeah, this is horrible. This is horrible news for Stryder. What does he have? He's got a good number of Stalkers here. That might actually be enough Stalkers. We'll see. We'll see if that's enough Stalkers, and man alive, the range on those guys pretty good. No bonus damage versus light, which is what Mutas are, but they do hit pretty hard. And they've got shields and whatnot, so in a direct confrontation, numbers that are fairly even, they are going to do just fine. They do kind of need Blink to keep up with the Mutas if the Mutas want to engage. Well, if the Mutas want to engage here, which I don't think is a good idea. Oh, actually, hold on. Working out pretty well. More Stalkers coming in, though. And now the Mutas have to get on out. So good job warping in additional units and reinforcements. Fabiana recognizing a losing battle when he sees one, decides to head on back home. And he's floating about 1,100 gas. He's got more Mutalisks back home. He's got 9 total. He didn't bring everybody out to that party. Over on the other side of the map, he is working on upgrades. There we go. There's your 1-1 timing from Fabiana. About 9.5 minutes, but really, it's just not really a thing. If you make a bunch of Mutas, they're going to be fine. Sure, get +1 attack, but you don't have to immediately go into 1-1. It's just, it's a lot of resources. It's a lot of gas to get double Spire up. It's 200 gas to get double Spire up, and you could do 2 more Mutas with that, and that might be enough to win an engagement you would otherwise lose. This poor Archon is stuck. I'm pretty sure he wants to get out, but that little gap is way too narrow for our Archon friend. He needs to go into Weight Watchers, I think, to get out of there. And he's not going to because he's a being of pure light. And I don't think diets mean anything to him. Third base done for Stryder. Still no third base from Fabiana. I keep looking up here expecting to see one, but there's not. That's how you know this is a true Into the Void game, is when your opponent, or one of the players, doesn't have a third base at 10 minutes and is just kind of hanging out. Lings and Mutas are both horrible against Archons. DTs are great against the Zerglings, especially if there's no detection. And yeah, these Lings, I don't know about rolling in. I'm like checking for a fourth base. Scouting with Lings is fine, but I'm not sure about rolling in with this many Lings. If anything's going to happen here, don't do it, man. I know you're thinking about it, Fabiana, but please, trust me when I say, don't do it. Don't do it, Captain. Look at me. I am the captain now. Dark Templar hanging out, ready to swing on into the third base that doesn't exist. Yeah, and generally pretty good against Stalkers, but Dark Templar mixed in here just means nothing dies. 0 things die to those Lings. Third base, aha! Said the DTs. Oh, wait, no, nothing? Cool. Oh, an Overseer. Fabiana has an Overseer. I am fairly shocked that he has an Overseer. And look at them running away, too. Dark Templar smartly recognizing the presence of the Overseer and getting on out. Muta's going to fly into the main base and see what they can do, but 2 cannons with a shield battery is fairly intimidating. However, that's an Artosis Pylon. That's an Artosis Pylon. You kill these pylons, you shut down production for Fabiana fairly well, but the problem is it's 54 to 35 workers right now. Army supply 50 to 50, but a lot of these are in Mutalisks, and Phoenix production has begun from Stryder. Not that Phoenix are a direct counter to Mutalisks in Lowbie games, because it does require a certain level of micro and a certain level of just control that usually silver level players do not have. And Mutalisks versus Phoenix in a direct confrontation where the Mutas can attack the Phoenix are going to do just fine. But the thing is that Phoenix are faster and are ranged, and there really shouldn't be a reason for that to happen, where Mutas can attack the Phoenix at the higher levels, but this is not the higher levels. Dark Shrine gets focused down. The Phoenix are here. Now let's see how this works. Oh, Stryder knows how to use Phoenix a little bit. He knows you kite him. He knows you stay out of the range of their Glaive Worm attack. Fantastic stuff here. These Mutas are in trouble, bro. These Mutas are in heck of trouble. Nice job depowering those 4 Warp Gates, though. 1, 2, 3, 4. Done. Mutas trying to get that other pylon, but the Phoenix just chased them away. That bonus damage versus light that they do, the speed that they have. Phoenix are the direct counter to Mutalisks. Although the Mutas are working on 2-2, which makes them a little bit tankier against them. But that said, the Phoenix are still beautifully really good here. Cannons are great, Stalkers are great, Archons are great too, and again, Muta's just getting picked off by the 2s and 3s here. Slowly whittled down. Fabiana going for 11 more Mutalisks to add to the party here. We're looking at 16 Mutas versus 6 Phoenix, 13 Stalkers, 5 Dark Templar, and an Archon. Additional Archons I think would be good here too, but additional Phoenix, really you can't go wrong with that if you're Stryder. Now, Stryder, it's been about 3 or 4 minutes, and your timings for upgrades and expansions have been pretty good so far. But I just want you to know, after 3 or 4 minutes since your last base, you really should go for another one. As taking that pylon down, I don't think really accomplishes anything. Maybe depowers that 1 cannon, but then again, maybe not. This is a slow warp, and the reason this is happening is because your pylon that you're warping in on is not touching the Nexus or a gateway. If it's touching a Nexus or a gateway, then it's a 2-second warp in. If it's not, then it's 15 or 16. And that can feel like a while when you got Mutas chewing on your third base. I can tell you that much. Ooh, 2-base infestation pit from Fabiana, mining out his main. His natural is fully saturated just about, but just... there's your third. Okay, finally. Fabiana goes for a third at 13.5 minutes, which just is like, you need a third. If nothing's killing your third, you should have a third. Mutas flying in. They're going to take down another couple pylons here, I think, but the Phoenix is going to come in from the backside and save this first pylon. And, geez, this is exactly why you shouldn't keep making Mutas when your opponent is going this many Phoenix. Ow, ow, ow. Do they have any upgrades? No, they don't have a 9 Pulse Crystals. Oh, here comes the engagement, though. This is what I'm talking about. If you let the Mutas get on top of your Phoenix, they're all going to die, and suddenly the Mutas take out all of the Phoenix. What a play from Fabiana, taking advantage of Stryder's inability to micro in that very minute. And sometimes that's all it takes, is a little bit of inattention. Oh, the Mutas are taking splash damage, but they do take that down the Archon. These guys are injured. They are injured, all different colors of the rainbow Mutalisks, though. They're on the bottom right. Good thing they have tissue regeneration, which means out of combat they will heal very, very quickly, which is what they need in the situation. And that's a hive, man. That is a hive. We have some idle drones over here at the main base. They are going over to start working somewhere else, so that's totally fine. And setting up to expand in the bottom right, it looks like it's Stryder, but he put a pylon where the Nexus should be. I think that this pylon would block it too, which is just really annoying if you're trying to expand somewhere and your own pylons are blocking the way. How many Phoenix do we have left, or how many are we making? 5 left, 2 more on the way. These Dark Templar need to be doing stuff, right? They need to be checking for a third. I understand that multitasking is hard in StarCraft. If you're just planning on trying to defend against the Mutas, it can be hard to say, well, these Dark Templar are useless in base defense if it's all Mutalisk all the time. So let's go up and try to kill this third base. And maybe, well, no, a 4th base on the way from Stryder. Just outside of his main. He's not trying to take this one in the bottom right-hand corner, mainly because he can't, I guess, or maybe he wasn't planning on to at all. Maybe these are scouting pylons. Just so he knows that the Mutas come over there, he can be aware. I like the Zealot scouting for additional bases for the Zerg. Good job by you there. These Stalkers are hanging out. Really not much activity at the moment. Stryder's army is 100 to 50 up. He's doubling up on that army. 83 APM for Stryder. Somehow Fabiana is running at 400 APM at this moment in time, which I don't... I guess clicking Mutalisks around is pretty APM intensive. But it just seems, I don't know, it doesn't seem like he should have that high of an APM and be playing this interestingly. Anyway, good kiting, good kiting. And again, a pro tip here for Stryder, you can get a fleet beacon. Oh, there it is. And go for a Nion pulse upgrade. A Nion, wow, it's late, I'm trying to remember. But a Nion pulse crystal upgrade, whatever it is, where it increases the range of the Phoenix by 1. It helps. It helps a lot just having that extra range there. Broodlord's on the way, getting +3 flyer and 12 corruptors now as Fabiana. You know, I used to think Stryder was in control of this game, but a Mutalisk Broodlord corruptor army versus what Stryder's rocking with, I really have to favor Fabiana on that one. 20 corruptors on the way. 20 corruptors is so many corruptors. Zealot comes up to the 3rd, gets killed by Queens eventually. Do they have the upgrades, the Queens? They don't. All the upgrades have gone directly to the Mutalisks this entire game. So far, they are sitting at 2-2. They're working on +3 flyer attack, which is fantastic. And here are the Corruptors. Corruptors do so well against Phoenix. So very well against Phoenix. And High Templar. I mean, I guess maybe Incredible Storms could save Stryder here, but I don't know. I really don't know what to tell you. 35 to 55 workers. Stryder's income is through the roof, looking good. Really doing a good job transferring here from the main base. Natural base is a little bit oversaturated. Transferring would be good. Maybe to the 3rd, which is sitting at 11 out of 16 harvesters on that mineral field. Or mineral field? Yeah, it's a field. It's a field of minerals. Yeah, man, that +3 flyer is going to be interesting here, especially with the Corruptors versus these Phoenix. The thing is, you can't really let Stryder just sit back and do whatever he wants for this long. He's getting blink, he's getting +3 ground attack, which is going to be great for the Archons and great for the Stalkers versus this Sky Zerg army. Alright, so the Mutaflock is 18, the Corruptor Flock is 23. We can make Broodlords anytime we want to, and usually you want to fly those across the map and set them up right here, right? Because then you don't have to fly the Broodlords across the map because they're slow and they take forever and waiting for them sucks. Phoenix Cloud, man, is really big. It is 18 Phoenix. He lost a bunch, and he was replacing them pretty well. Ooh, Carrier's on the way from Stryder, too. The Fleet Beacon is for Carrier, not for an Ion Pulse upgrade, which, yikes. I mean, does it matter at this point? Carriers might be a little bit better, but the Corruptor count is so high. He's making Broodlords here. See, this is the problem. This is a mistake I see people make, is Broodlords as defensive units when they're not. 4th base, gonna get focused down. The DTs, at the very least, are gonna win this thing very nicely. Oh, the Storms, the Mutalisks fighting the Corruptors, fighting the Storm Blankets are pretty good here. The Corruptors are trying to wipe out every single one of these Phoenix. They're doing a great job of it. More Storms. I think that's a miss. I can't quite tell how many Mutas remain. I don't know. I don't know if there are any Mutas in here at all, but the Phoenix are being cleared out. The Broodlords are fighting on the ground right now. Doing pretty well here against this army. The DTs are hacking away at the Broodlings. Overseer is helping to spot those Dark Templar. And suddenly, the Mutas are all gone. The Broodlords recognize when they're in a tough spot, and they decide to back on out. I think, okay, now I'm going to swing this back in favor of a Stryder here at the 19-minute mark, just because the Carriers are going to be a good answer here. Their Corruptor count is fairly low at this point. There are only 10 of them, and a lot of them are really injured. You can see in the bottom right there, a lot of oranges, a lot of yellows, a lot of reds even, and the 4th base got picked off. 4th base attempt here by Fabiana is gone, and Stryder happily sitting on a total of 4. Only 55 workers. You can support a few more, 60, 65 on this number of bases. Really should keep probing up into the late game, but that is something that can fall by the wayside here in the lower levels. Fabiana taking a new 4th base in the top left-hand corner of the map. We got Broodlords here from Fabiana. And unsupported, like, you need these Corruptors to come with those guys. And in fact, you need more Corruptors. But Stryder is mineral starved. Or Strider's mineral starved. Fabiana is gas starved. That's his problem, is he doesn't have enough gas to do what he wants to do, which is a lot of Corruptors. And he keeps extractor mining out. And I guess he's trying to get gas from the 4th base as soon as he can. But seriously, you have enough minerals. Double expand here. Take a ton of extractors. And see what you can do. These Lings are not great. The Lings against the Zealots and the Dark Templar and the Zealots are sitting here with +3 attack. These Lings are going to die. They're going to try to get on these cannons, but if they have any upgrades at all, they have speed, and literally that's it. And that is just a sacrificial offering from Fabiana. So here come the Broodlords, but they are unsupported and they're gonna die. Watch Falcon Nostradamus here. They're going to get some stuff done. It's going to be like, yeah, take that, gateways. Nom, 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 nom. We're going to chew right through your shielding. Take that, cannon. Nom, 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 nom. We are unstoppable, but guess what is more unstoppable? Carriers. Carriers which can attack both air and ground, and you can't run from them. You're Broodlords. You can't flee from this. You're trying. Oh, the Corruptor's actually not really chasing. Not all of them anyway. Stalker's doing that bonus damage versus armored stuff, which Broodlords are really great. That said, the Stalker's not focusing on the Broodlords that well. Here come the Corruptors trying to take them the carriers. They're going to get one, but getting stormed really well. Man, this carrier storm stuff that Strider's rocking is really good. It's really fantastic. Another carrier gets focused down there. More carriers are showing up, though. The Corruptors are trying to fight. Fabiana has 3,000 minerals and 900 gas, and he's making nothing right now. But another carrier gets picked off. The Broodlords are trying to deal with this ground army, but this Archon... No, says the Archon. More Broodlords wander on over here. I don't even know where they came from. Where did you guys come from? Because you're going to die. Broodlords versus Void Rays and Carriers. Not a great fight for the Broodlords, as it turns out. We did a study, and that was the result. So 4th base up. He's not getting gas from all of the extractors at his 4th base. Is Fabiana. He's making 9 more Corruptors, which would have been a huge help in that last battle. That said, Void Ray is really good against Corruptors. Strider's been watching StarCraft, you guys. Stryder knows that an Archon Void Ray Carrier High Templar composition is really hard for Zerg to deal with. The Storms can deal with a lot of the lesser units like Hydralisks and Zerglings and Roaches. The Void Rays can deal with the Corruptors, and the Carriers can deal with pretty much everything else. And the Archons, too, really good against the Corruptors. You can get underneath them. Overlord dies. 132 to 73 supply. I mean, at this stage, Fabiana is in a heck of a lot of trouble. It's 78 to 44 army supply. Fabiana does have 13 Corruptors, which is nice. He is fully saturating his gas, oversaturating his gases here at the 4th base, which is really good for him too, and he has the tech. I mean, honestly, at this point, you just come in here with Mass Corruptor, wipe out the Carriers, and try to trade evenly with the Void Rays, and then just let, like, you know, 8 or 9 Broodlords deal with the rest of it. And I think you'll be okay, but you almost need Mutalisk against this many Voids. But that's why the Archons exist, because they're great against Mutas, and it's a tricky spot to be in as a Zerg. I can definitely understand that. I mean, I watched Goblin take down Cham in a game that I cast on the channel not too long ago, whereas, I mean, Goblin is a good player, but he's not at Cham's level, but he took him down with that composition, and he knew how to use it, and he was very good with it. Alright, where are we? We're looking at Carriers. We're looking at Void Rays, everything I've been talking about here. Stryder hasn't expanded for a while. We're at 23 minutes now. I guess he did this bottom right base. This is new. I forgot. He had pylons down here, which again, he had to kill both of those to take a Nexus. I was right about that. And just kind of macroing up now is Stryder, sitting at 162 supply. And if the Zerg wins this thing, I'm going to be real surprised. I'm just not going to know what to do with myself if that happens. Corruptors, a decent answer here, but that Void Ray count, especially with Prismatic Alignment, look, more Void Rays. Stryder is accounting for the more Corruptors that Fabiana is making by making more Void Rays. And with Prismatic Alignment, that bonus damage they get versus Armored can just tear through Corruptors. I feel like we're going to see this. I feel like this is it. This is the engagement. He's actually running from these Corruptors. Not a great idea. Losing 2 Carriers. And then the Void Rays attack and the Corruptors pull back. That's a pretty good micro and pretty good decision making from Fabiana. Recognizing we want to kill Carriers. We can't kill Void Rays all that well. Not in these numbers anyway. So pull on back. He's got +3 Flyer Carapace on the way. This is as Sky Zerg as I've seen in a long, long time. More Corruptors! Bring the Corruptors down. You have more army supply. You do. You could... Okay, 3 Brood Lords, I guess, to try to deal with the ground stuff. But the carrier group is getting a little bit scary. There are 5 of them? 5 of them? Yeah, 1 just died. I think that messed up the symmetry of what we were looking at. This is not enough, Fabiana. This is 3 Brood Lords is not enough to deal with the ground army that Stryder is running with right now. These Corruptors could be a help to you, but they're sitting in your main because you didn't have them rallied or something along those lines. And yeah, man, the Void Rays. The Void Rays! Now you can't run because of the Brood Lords can't run. Oh, man. Corruptors are actually trading pretty well against these Voids, but there are just so many of them. Storming his own units a little bit there. Oh, that's not good. All right. Walking through the storm, but every single prismatic alignment is kind of wearing off, you guys. It's kind of wearing off here. There's no way. There's no way Fabiana wins this thing. I don't see it. I really don't. Prismatic alignment is done. The Void Rays aren't as good as they used to be. The Corruptors are trading pretty well. The upgrades are good on the Corruptors. Taking off another carrier. Fabiana making nothing back home. He's got 3,000, 1,000 in the bank. More Corruptors would be so good. He finally managed to make... Well, recognize that he had additional Corruptors. Oh, and then they stopped. They were going to help out. Then they stopped. Oh, free Void Ray. Great. Free carrier. Dude, Fabiana is doing one of the greatest come-from-behind victories I've ever seen on the channel. He's still down, mind you. It is still 48 to 108 army supply. Don't get me wrong. Another carrier getting killed by these Corruptors. This should not be happening. Although, dodge there with some Storm and some Void Rays wandering on over. These... Wait, where are they? Here are the Corruptors. Why are they lost? Why are they lost? Fabiana continuing to make 1 or 2 Brood Lords at a time. That doesn't cut it. You need 10 Brood Lords. 12 would be really nice, too, to really wipe out the ground army. And honestly, at this point, I might just go Mutalisk. Just go Muta. That is so many Void Rays and just 1 carrier. A mass Mutatech switch here with 3 upgrades would be fantastic from Fabiana, but he doesn't know. He's making 10 more Corruptors. He's making Brood Lords. And if he can do that thing again, where he kind of forces the Prismatic Alignment to pop on the Void Rays and then just runs from them and gets pursued and can turn around and kill the Void Rays when Prismatic Alignment is done, he can maybe do this thing. But I don't know. I really don't think it's possible. 141 to 76 army supply, these ground units. Trying to go for some scouting, which means they're going to die. To Brood Lords. Is that Pneumatized Carapace? Fabiana's getting Overlord speed for reasons I don't understand. Alright, so here we go. Not using Prismatic Alignment here. The Storm usage, again, is really, really great from Stryder. I mean, it's not amazing against Corruptors, but anything that can hurt them is good. They're not using the Prismatic Alignment, Captain. Oh my gosh, the Void Rays aren't using their ability that they have, and they're all gone, and the carrier is gone, and the ground army is getting cleaned up by these Brood Lords, too. What an insane setup this is. Okay, so the Zealots are running just to kill stuff. They can run from the Brood Lords quite fine. The Brood Lords are slow. 24 Zerglings in production, but the number of Zealots on the ground right now, 16. 16 Zealots on the ground right now. More Void Rays in production. It's 99 to 70 army supply. A lot of these are Zealots. So many drones are getting massacred. Y'all, 24, 26 workers killed. The Lings are trying to fight here too. The Brood Lords are trying to get strikes on in there as well. The Zealots are standing and fighting against these unupgraded Zerglings so very, very well. But they're all going to get overwhelmed. Where's the detection? This Dark Templar, man. 35 kill Dark Templar. Look at this guy. Look at him just hacking away. 39 kills. 40 kills. 41 kills. 42 kills. This is insane right now. 3 more Void Rays on the way from Stryder. Zealots taking down the natural base of Fabiana too, which is pretty great. 153 to 71 overall supply. There's only 19 workers remaining for Fabiana. Dude, you have the resources to make some Brood Lords, Fabiana. He's doing it. All right, so 4 more Brood Lords trying to come in. These Zealots, man. These Zealots are plus 3 Zealots. Their attacks are amazing. Their armor not as good, but they can really chew down and chow down on queens that don't have any upgrades themselves. This Zealot counterattack by Stryder is actually doing way more than it should be able to. This Templar has 45 kills, and he's going to kill a hatchery. I can feel it in my bones. He's going to kill the hatchery. All right. Ooh, Mutalisks. Finally, Fabiana going for Mutas, but his top left-hand base is toast. Fabiana, no, you're losing all of your bases. Tempests are out. There's a mothership here. Does he have detection? Did you make overseers? No, Fabiana doesn't have overseers. Is this going to be the downfall of the Zerg? Is this it? Is this the thing? Are you going to try to caustic spray over here, or what's going on? I don't know what this is. The Broodlords are swinging in. But suddenly the army's back. Like, that's more Void Rays. Where's the prismatic alignment? The Tempest are so good here, too, from distance. They're zippy. They accelerate well. There's not even a Grand Army really to kill here. Run, Broodlords! No, the Tempest and the Void Rays are chewing through them. Trying to use Time Warp, but I think they escape it before Time Warp even comes up, which is just fine. Yeah, man, Stryder's got this thing in the bag, or does not. If Fabiana wins this, I'm going to eat my hat. I just don't see it happening for him. Again, I forgot about the Mutas, which is great. He's making an Overseer, which is great, but he has one mining base, where Stryder is just sitting here happily mining on 2 bases. Effectively 2 right now. Income is definitely just crazy higher for the Protoss player. His upgrades are good. He's got 58 workers compared to 5, and losing every other one of his workers that exist with these little Zealot run-bys. Zealot Dark Templar stuff. Fabiana, I believe in you, but I don't believe in you. Picking off the Overseer would be genius. Here we go. Flying on in with the Mutalisk. They're trying to fight, but there are just too much Protoss here, man. Walking right on in. Wait, what was that? That was a weird thing. Prismatic Alignment comes up, and that's what you should have done 10 minutes ago. The Corruptors are gone. The Broodlords are gone. And that's it. Strider's out. Fabiana does not call the GG. I don't want to say he rage quits, but it's possible he did. It's possible he did. So, jeez. Good back and forth game, though. Stryder, again, has a better grasp on StarCraft 2 as a whole from the Protoss perspective. He just does. He's a better player overall. I think he's going to get upgraded. Fabiana just did some weird things. The double spire opening, the not expanding for 10 minutes play, the not really doing much to defend against the Zealot stuff. No spine crawlers, didn't make a number of lings or roaches to try to deal with it either. And then, again, he was good. He was good at the Corruptors for a while there, but in the end, it's just Stryder had the composition he wanted. He was doing pretty well with it. He had Storm, he had Void Rays, he had Archons, he had Carriers. He had a mothership at the end of the day, and this composition is hard for Zerg to deal with, and especially at the silver level. So great job by Stryder. Expanding well, researching well, upgrading well, tech switching as he needs to, making Phoenix versus those Mutas, moving into Carriers and Void Rays once the Corruptors came out, and just beautiful stuff from Stryder. So good job by you. And overall, interesting game. And just, resources lost here fairly even. 40,000 for Fabiana, 39,000 for Stryder. Kind of surprised by that, but I guess a lot of Carriers and Void Rays did die in this game, and those are expensive and not cheap. So anyway, that's going to be it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void and Into the Void. Go ahead and hit that like button. Hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.
And so you must run, and it's taken your heart and broken your soul. You cannot go back until you're made whole. And you're running into the void. You go searching into the void to find a place you can live. A push comes to shove, there's a light upon you, and you follow it on. Looking for a reason and a way to atone. All around you, the planets and stars, you're lost in a maelstrom of a great new unknown. And you're running into the void. You go searching into the void to find a place you can live, a place you can love. Is it just an illusion when push comes to shove? And you're running into the void. You go searching into the void. And you're running into the void.